I'm speaking about the other side of hell. You take whatever is true and good and beautiful on this earth, and you take it into the level of the ideal, and you'll find the smelling, the sounding, the sensing of heaven in your heart. It's amazing. Wherever you go in this world, regardless of culture and geographies, of religion and philosophies, there is heaven almost written inside the human soul. And that's why every one of these ideologies, regardless of where they're from, across the world, has a concept of heaven. Now, they have varied views, but it's essentially the same, meaning there's something in the human heart which longs for a future that's different than the imperfections of the present, that'll be beautiful, true, and good in its ideal forms. Perhaps you are hardwired for eternity. Perhaps you have a heaven-bent heart. Maybe it's written in your heart. That's why, even though people sing to you and say, imagine there is no heaven, it's much harder to imagine there is no heaven than to imagine there is a heaven. You've got to be singing, imagine there is no heaven, while you are internally convinced that there has to be a heaven to address all the imperfect matters of the present. Now, you can wait till after you die to make decisions about the future, but it'll be too late. You may have heard of the man who told his doctor that he got 3 second opinions, and all of the other 3 doctors disagreed with his diagnosis. And the doctor calmly replied, after we get your autopsy, you can decide, and you'll know that I'm right. Now, that'll be too late. The afterlife is a scenario for playing out the perfect future. So let's talk about the perfect future. The perfect future is very difficult for me to explain because I've not experienced it. I'm a novice at it. I mean, eye has not seen or ear heard the things that are still there, unless in some way, if it was shown to me, it'll be difficult for me to explain it. It'll be somewhat like my attempts to tell you what are the masterpieces of the Louvre in Paris, France. If I were to say, I saw this beautiful woman, it was called Mona Lisa, a lovely lady with a fine face and a smirk of a smile, and seems like she's hiding something behind her, and we don't know what the ambiguity is that the artist was attempting to present. You will smile at my smile about her smile, because you are much more of an art expert. You're an art historian, you're an art specialist. Or next door, when I saw the Aphrodite or the Aphrodite, the Venus of Milos. If I were to say it's a woman with broken arms, you would say, wait a second, you don't know enough art. That's one of the most sensual, most beautiful pieces there is on the planet. And that's how it's going to be with heaven. I can kind of, at my level, tell you that I recognized a good thing, but you, because of your deep awareness and experience, you know much deeper, better, greater stuff. That's how I'm going to explain heaven to you. First of all, in a sort of a revised version of the earth, because we have to use present categories at the level of your experience, and secondly, in a new edition of reality itself. So first, heaven as a revised edition of the earth. All we got to do is use superlatives, because we're comparing things that we know at the present to try to show you how great and how wonderful and how consummate and beautiful and marvelous the superlative extrapolation technique. I can say it's first class, it's world class, it's premier, but I'm still using earthly portraits to show you what heaven is like in its revised version of the earth.